Hello friends, Koolio here, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're going to be jumping in and talking about Shining Beyond, which will be globally available in just a couple of days. Now, the game is actually available right now for a couple of different regions where it's in an early access. Now, as far as I'm aware for the sort of beta server that I'm currently playing on, it's not going to be wiped for the official release, but when the official launch does come, it does look like they may open up other servers for new people jumping in. Don't quote me on it, it was just some information I was able to kind of gather as I was doing my research into this game. Now today's video, we're going to kind of go ahead and talk about this game, whether or not the hype is surrounding this game, whether or not we should be excited for the official launch for Shining Beyond. Now, I've actually done a video on this game before where I wasn't really all that impressed with the game. I jumped in, I played it, and honestly, it was okay. It was okay for me, and this was probably about 11 months ago, I believe, the last time I did a video on the game. However, since jumping back into the game, I've kind of changed my perspective on it as I've done a lot more research into it. Because the developers say that this is not your typical gacha game. They want this to be an idle action game. And so, my opinion of this game has changed with that mentality. Jumping into it, I've decided to focus on this game being more of an idle game rather than your traditional gacha game without the idle mechanics. Now, the closest I think that this game kind of resembles any other gacha game, I would say this game resembles King's Raid quite a lot. Like, the art style, the graphics, and even the gameplay kind of remind me a lot of King's Raid. So if you're kind of looking for that style of gameplay, then this is the game for you. Now, the gacha system in this game isn't like King's Raid, because King's Raid, you're able to just straight up, buy the characters up front. This one's actually different though. This one you do summon the characters through a gacha system. Now there are a couple of things in this game that I really like that I want to tell you guys up front before we get into a couple of other things that I'm gonna nitpick here and there. But I do want to let you know my general opinion of this game is if you're looking for a King's Raid style gacha game with some pretty great art, some awesome visual progression for your characters, and with a decent amount of idle gameplay behind it where you don't really have to pay a whole lot of attention to the game and you don't have a lot of time, I think this would be a game a lot of people would be interested in. Now, my overall favorite aspect of this game has definitely got to be the art style and the visual progression for the characters, which we'll get into a little bit later. But right now, let's go ahead and actually talk about the combat, because I think this is probably where most of the negative opinions are going to come out about this game. A lot of the stuff you're going to be doing in this game is going to be idle auto gameplay. You turn on the auto gameplay, let your characters go through these dungeons one room at a time, clearing them out, taking down the boss, and just leaving on auto skill. Now, when you're actually playing the game like this, and I'm going to go ahead and turn ×2 speed off and talk a little bit about like the skills and stuff, is when you do turn on the auto gameplay, the auto skills, it will only automatically activate their ultimate abilities. Now, each character has an ultimate ability, they have a weapon ability, and then a job ability, I believe is what the secondary one is. And if you want to activate their job and their weapon skills, you'll have to do it manually, even if you turn auto skills on. If you're going to be just jumping into the game and just playing it by yourself, usually I found that allowing your characters to do auto gameplay and using their ultimate abilities, you'll do fine. Now, if you, I'm sure once you get a little bit farther into the game, it gets a little bit harder, more difficult, then yeah, you're probably going to want to take over manually. You're probably going to want to activate their skills and abilities. Now, I do want to let you guys know, one of the biggest things I had a problem with the game last time was performance. It does seem like they've improved performance a little bit since then, but I do recommend if you have trouble playing this game, if you find it kind of glitchy and stuff, to go to your settings and to turn off skill cast animation. All it does really is just have the characters 2D art pop up on the screen and displayed, and I find that it slows things down quite a lot. So I do recommend turning that off if you're going to be just jumping in and want to get through it as fast as possible. So we're going to go ahead and activate a couple of their different abilities. You can actually line them up if you want to. So there's an activation right there. You can basically click on the abilities and they'll put them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in the activation. So I can see later on when things get a little bit more difficult, the potential for, the activating of abilities in certain orders to play out. So maybe you have a character that has a buff ability, you want a buff ability to go first, then a debuff, then maybe like a heal or something like that. So if you do pay attention to the character's skills, I do think there is going to be some kind of fun functionality into it. But keep in mind, this is a game that you're probably going to be grinding quite a lot. Probably offline grinding too if you don't want to spend a lot of time with that. Because again, there are idle mechanics to this game. But you're probably just going to be kind of auto-playing through quite a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on ×2 speed and let the characters just kind of clear through this. Now, there are other options when it comes to combat that do add a little bit extra customization on top of it, specifically when it comes to items. There are combat items that you'll be able to collect. I don't have any equipped right now because I haven't really needed any, but there are items that give like attack boost, defense boost, health potions and stuff like that that you can equip onto your team, and you can use these, drag them over the target to activate them. So it does add a little bit of extra, strategy on top if there's certain dungeons and stuff that you just can't get past. You'll be able to activate some of those items. So we can go ahead and swap some of the camera out. I will say that playing the game with the 3 camera styles they have, the UI is very cluttered. I kind of wish it was a little bit more minimal, but I mean, that's what the game's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be like. Usually I just play like really close up anyway. But there we go. So we completed that stage. We get our items, we get our experience points for our overall count, and experience points for the characters. Now, the characters' levels, you'll notice all my characters are level 20. The characters' levels are attached to your overall account. And so once you reach certain points, so like once I got to level 10 on my account, my characters were then able to level up to level 20. And so the higher up your account level is, the higher the levels of your characters, but it's not like attached to it. So there are some games where it's like, if you're level 13, your characters can only get to level 13. It's not the case with here. Now, I did talk about how there's a lot of idle mechanics in this game. They have an idle function right here that does have a couple of different things I want to talk about. Basically, how it works is you don't actually have to set your team up for this battle, these idle things. You just have to go and update your heroes, and basically all of the heroes that you have are added together into this overall hero battle points, and then they go in and they jump all of them together, fight these kind of idle animations. It's really nothing. You see like a little bit of combat here, but that's about it. And then over time, you'll get player XP, gold, and items, and you get a lot of items. Specifically, you get a lot of equipment items when you play through this game. You get a lot of them. So being able to power up your characters through equipment is super easy because you get a ton of them. But I do want to go ahead and actually talk about the customization and the upgrading of the characters, because that was something at first I was like, yeah, I really like the look of the characters, and I think like their 3D models for some of them look good, some of them don't. Like, for example, Mei Fang here, I think her 3D model looks pretty good, but then I have another character that I don't think his 3D model looks all that good. I don't know. Maybe it's the face. I'm not sure. Like, it's kind of a funny face. But one thing I like, and I really, really like this about games that do this, is the equipment items for the characters. So let's actually go ahead and head over to Orisa here. Now, Orisa's got this giant scythe you can see kind of in the background. If I get a new scythe for her, like a 3 or 4 star scythe that I can equip onto her and it looks different, it will actually change the look of her weapon. And I love that. I love that kind of customization. So for her right there, I think I've got a character that has a shield. I want to say it's Arya. Yeah, so she's got the shield right here. So you can actually see the shield looks the same as the one in the icon. So as you equip better looking items for the character, the items will actually change their appearance. And I like that. I'm a big fan of visual progression for characters. That's not the only way that you can actually visually progress your characters. So if we actually go back to Mei Fang, we go to her information right here, and then we go and we zoom out, we can take a look at her 3D art. We can also take a look at her 2D art. We can zoom in. And yes, thank you for allowing us to look at the art. I wish we could like hide everything. There is a way to do it, actually. If you go back to the characters and just click on them, you'll be able to see their full 3D art. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I do want to talk about the visual progression, because as you go through and you upgrade them from 4-star into 7-star, they'll actually visually change. And so I really, really appreciate that, because I'm a big fan of visual progression. I want to show other players, look at how much time I've spent on these characters. Look how powerful they are. So I'm pumped about that. I think that's really fantastic. And then you can also go and check out some of their poses and stuff. So I like it. That's a big plus for me, that you can actually go and visually change them. In fact, I want to show you one character where you can really, really see how the visual change makes them just look so cool. I want to say it is this guy right here. Chaos, yeah. Yes. Okay, so here he is at 1 star. Then here he is again at 4 stars. So you can see he definitely looks different. But then once you get him to ultra rare 7 stars, he looks so dope. But you'll notice his weapon doesn't change. But once you get high rarity weapons, equip them, it will definitely change. So yeah, I love it. That looks so dope. Look at this. Okay, so there's his SR, his SSR, and then his ultimate. Like, it just looks so cool. I love that. Thank you for putting that in the game. And so that's kind of all I want to talk about the game. Is the game going to be hyped? I don't know. Like, I don't really think it stands out in any particular way. I don't know if a lot of people are going to like the combat. There is some weird sluggishness here and there, but I have noted that a lot of people do seem, at least the ones that have played in the game so far, have said that the game is fairly free-to-play friendly. So that's a big bonus for me. But I do want to talk about one thing. We are going to do some summons. This is one thing I'm a little bit confused about. If anyone knows, let me know down below in the comments. But if you go and you actually take a look at the summoning rates, it's a 5% chance for an SSR tier character, which is actually really good. I found like a lot of gacha games right now, they're around 2%, but the 5% I think is a really great. That's pretty high. However, for the featured summons, for this one's it's Thea, Alexander, and Artemis, it doesn't tell you anywhere what the summoning rates are for them. It says it's upgraded, it's updated for these characters, but I don't know how. I don't know how it works. So bonus Valiantite for gem summons, guaranteed SR or higher with every 10 times summon. But I don't see what the rate ups for are these. I don't even know if they're rate. I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys know. So here we go. Let's go ahead. And honestly, I've only played this game for maybe an hour or two, and I already have enough to do 20 summons. So and I've already done a couple of summons before. Let's go ahead and summon for some of these characters and see if we can't get anything lucky. One thing that is kind of funny is if you're the kind of person that's like, oh man, I hope I get like a really rare character, and you're kind of like waiting for that surprise. I've had a couple of times where I've summoned and the name of the character pops up here before I actually see the character. It's happened like once or twice, so looks like we are gonna get an SSR, which is awesome. Is it gonna be our very first summon? Who's it gonna be? It is Emilia. Like, that's pretty good looking art. She's pretty cute. So SSR right there. Awesome. This next one, we got a duplicate of Arya. Next up, we've got ourselves we got Luna. Super cute. We got Winry. This is Levi, okay. I will say there isn't a whole lot of characters in this game, and I feel like you're probably going to collect them fairly quickly. But remember, a lot of like this game is centered on kind of taking those characters and upgrading them to their ultra rare status. So Isabel, she looks really cool. I might add her onto my team. This is another rare character, Arya, which we already had a couple of her. And then we already have her as well, Winry. We got ourselves another SR character, and it's going to be, I kind of hope it's Chaos, the big robot dude. Holy crap, it is. Okay, so we got Chaos. I'm excited to level him up and get some of his weapons and stuff. We got another SR here, and that is Olivia, which we already have her. And then we got our summon results. And then the ones that we get duplicates for do turn into shards, which you can then use to upgrade the other characters. So let's go ahead and just do it one more time. We're going to get through this super, super fast. Here's the new characters. They do have like a little, hey, what's going on? This is me as a character, which I don't mind. See, like some of the models look pretty good, you know? Some of them I think are okay. Some of them look like they have like really soft textures on them. But there we go. So we got Chaos. He looks super dope. Can't wait to level him up. Let's go ahead and do it again. Confirm. Do I want to skip it? Let's just see if I get an SSR. Oh! There we go. SSR right there. I wonder if you can get more than one SSR, because that'd be awesome. What the heck? Did I get 3? Wait, 1, 2. Okay, we got 2 SSRs. So it is possible to get more than one SSR. I kind of hope we get one of the banner characters. So we got Beretta with the giant hammer. I'm excited to see what kind of hammers you get for her. Next up, we got an SR, and that is going to be Levi. Or an R character, that's Levi, so we got an SR here. That is Isabel. This is going to be an R. We already have her. Seraphina. I want to say we do have her already. I think she was like in my very first summon. So we got an SR here. That is Cecil. I don't think I've got Cecil. Then this is Winry. We already have her. This one's an R. This one I think we already have. And Talia. Actually, I don't think I have her. This last one. So this is going to be an SR. And then we should have one more SSR. We already have this guy, Oberon. See, his art kind of looks a little funky. His 3D model. And then this one is our SSR. Please, I think it's Artemis is one of the characters. Or Alexandria. So we got Rhaegar. So we did not get one of the banner characters. We got another R character, Luna, and I think that's it. So we got 3 new ones, a couple of bonuses, 4 new ones, and then we got some shards for the characters there. So, alright, so there you guys go, Shining Beyond. My opinion of the game has definitely changed since my expectations of what this game has also changed. Remember, this is a game that's kind of, it's touting itself as an idle action RPG game that the community as of right now has stated that the game is fairly free to play. So I'm interested in getting your guys' thoughts on the game. Do you guys think this game is going to be successful? Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys going to play it when it officially comes out in a couple of days? So let me know down below in the comments. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Well, friends, my name's Koolio, and I'll see you next time.